President-elect Trump has some more brilliant thoughts for us on the issue of climate change. He said this on Fox News. I'm still open-minded. Nobody really knows. Look, I'm somebody that gets it, and nobody really knows. It's not something that's so hard and fast. I do know this. Other countries are eating our lunch. Okay, what is that? I'm not even sure what that last part means. Like, he's asked about climate change. He's like, nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. Other countries are eating our lunch. Other countries are eating our lunch? What are you talking about? I think what he's referring to is, hey, when it comes to oil and gas, other countries are, I don't know, extracting more, selling more involved in the fossil fuel market, so they're making more money, even though they're polluting more and pushing us further down the path of climate change. So you can see, like, his priorities embedded in that response. I don't know. But anyway, look, it's still important. Other countries are eating our lunch. And there was the famous thing he said on Twitter. Climate change is a Chinese hoax manufactured or pushed by the Chinese to destroy our manufacturing. It's a Chinese hoax. Again, I think that's what he's hinting at there. Other countries taking advantage of us. They push this myth of climate change, and then they're doing all the natural gas exporting and oil exploration, and we're just getting screwed. Okay. Dude, we have a child for president of the United States. He kept repeating it. Nobody really knows. Look, I'm somebody that gets it. What a stupid thing to say. I get it. But nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. Actually, people do know about climate change. They're called scientists. So we have geochemist James Lawrence Powell, who did a meta-analysis, which is a compilation of all the different peer-reviewed studies on climate change over a broad period of time here. And I want to show you the chart here so you get an idea of what he found. There were 13,950 peer-reviewed climate articles between 1991 and 2012. That is a long period of time, and that is a lot of studies now, isn't it? Only 24 out of 13,950 rejected climate change. So that's what? Over 98%. That maybe even over 99%. It's that little sliver right there. See that little sliver of red? Those are the only scientific studies which say, climate change, don't know. The rest of them are like, no, we know, and it's bad. So it's happening, largely man-made, and we need to do something to go in the other direction, or we're in trouble. See, that's the thing. Like, the media, even if they admit, like, okay, climate change is real because the scientists say it, they don't even take that next step. And the next step is probably the most important step, which is to explain to you the effects of it. Because everybody's got this abstract idea of like, well, I mean, I guess the climate's changing. So, climate's always changing. That's one of the common responses you get from people who don't follow this stuff or care too much about it. Climate's always changing. So what? It's still changing. And I believe in climate change, but it's always changing. Natural causes, from the right-wingers, you get sunspots, something. I don't know. Sometimes you get, maybe it's a good thing. That's what you get from Republicans. Well, I mean, look, everybody likes Florida, right? Florida weather. What if we had Florida weather everywhere? No, you have to go to the details of it. And what we find is, so first of all, sea level rise. Sea level rise is a big problem because you have many cities that can just be wiped off the fucking map. I mean, we've seen what's been happening in Louisiana. They had flooding in Louisiana not that long ago. And what happens if that's a thing that occurs every year? Well, then Louisiana is no longer inhabitable. You got to move away from fucking Louisiana. New Orleans, totally gone. I mean, Miami, gone. So all these super duper important cities, probably New York City at some point. I don't know what they are at sea level. I don't know how far above they are or whatever, but you can lose many important cities. Now, but still, even with that, I honestly think sea level rise is probably the lowest on the list of concerns with climate change. Now, that's a bold statement, but I think it's true because you look at the other effects of it and oh boy. So how about wars over water? That's going to happen. You run out of fresh water, and what do? People need water, so in the second world and third world countries, they can go to war over water. You have an increase in natural disasters. We're seeing that happen right now. Wildfires are getting way more out of control. They cover a much larger swath of land than they used to. So, but it's not just that. It's also hurricanes. It's also tornadoes. It's everything. So you have an increase in the extremes. You also have drought, which leads to famine, which leads to a giant spike in food prices. This is going to cause trillions with a T, trillions of dollars worth of damage. And that's if we're even possible and if it's capable to, basically roll the clock back and drastically move in the opposite direction. Because even if we cut off all the fossil fuels right now, there's still the reverberating effects. So it's not like, oh, we're out of the clear now because we stopped using it. No, because of the greenhouse effect, it's going to take some time to take hold and we're still going to be suffering the consequences. So the answer, we have to do a green revolution. We have to do a renewable technology revolution. That's where the next New Deal can come from. But we got idiots like Trump who's like, I don't know. Even though the scientists say it's real, even though virtually every single scientific study says it's real, I don't know. Nobody really knows. Except that there are people that do know. They're the experts. You're just an asshole reality star with a ferret on your head. So maybe you start listening to people who know what the fuck they're talking about and stop going based off your gut. Other countries are eating our lunch. So obviously, we need to make sure we do more pollution and go further down the path of climate change and ruin it for the American people and for the world.